For those of you who aren't familiar with Tony Hawk Pro Skater,
Oh God.
yeah.
I have an emulator of that on my computer for N64, the original one.
Gosh,
So we might have to record some of that as well whenever I come up.
I'd have to get used to the controller, but I love me some Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
I mean, I've got it all mapped to a 360 controller, so like. It's
Oh, I'm in there. That's
yes, let's do that. That'd be really fun. We'll do some of that. Do some retro gaming. Word mumble there. I've got Paper Mario that I'm gonna do a playthrough of at some point. I'm gonna start doing some more retro games just because they're fun and people love them. Like I said, people love the video gaming memories. I've never actually played through Ocarina of Time.
Me neither. I got stuck at the water temple.
Yeah, so I've got Ocarina of Time. I'm going to play through that, and Banjo-Kazooie is my other one that I'm going to be playing through. I did I started a playthrough of that right before I started the channel, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna wait, and I'm just gonna post it. So I'll be restarting that probably, but I'm excited for it.
Heck yeah, I'm gonna be
it'd be really good
to play Pokemon. I'm a big Pokemon guy.
We can do an emulator of even gold version. And just have at it. That'd be really fun.
I could walk people through gold, the hidden tips and tricks, the trades.
Yes, you literally know everything there is to know about gold version. Like, it's insane.
That's my Aaron Elam's good at Halo. I just play Pokemon religiously. I still play it.
But you're ungodly good at Pokemon. Like you sit there, and I remember we were living together, and it was just like bunk beds. And you were just talking to me on, and you're just like, oh yeah, I gotta give my Eevee. Was it level 30 or something to evolve, something like that?
And to get the old taming. Oh, here's the thing that I was pissed about. Maybe
I remember
good at Pokemon, but my Pokemon, I don't know what's wrong with them. They hate me. Eevee, traditionally, to get an Umbreon or Espeon, you have to level it up and make it love you. Well, mine is always evolving at level 40, and Ethan's got freaking like level 30, and it's like, ding, it's an Espeon. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, I just wasn't even trying, really, and I just like pulled out. I was like, I want an Umbreon or an Espeon, and so I decided, just might as well get an Espeon. Needed the Psychic types, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I need a Psychic type in my party. Might as well go for the Espeon. And I just like level 30, boom, happened right there. And you were trying to do it at the same time, and you just I remember you just looked down under your bunk. You're like, no fucking way. You wouldn't talk to me for the rest of the day. You were so mad. You're just like, why isn't this fucking Eevee evolving? And you spent the rest of the night trying to do it.
I got him haircuts, massages, all the works, and he's like,
I don't think I did a single thing. Like, I swear to God, I don't think I got a single haircut, anything.
Wow, that was one of the lowlights of my Pokemon playing career.
You pulled a George Michael with the Charlie Brown theme, just hang your head and started walking off.
Good grief. Oh, speaking of grief, there was a grief counselor in our lecture on Tuesday. And God, the whole time I was just thinking of good grief, because she was like, "No, grief is good," and I just thought of the Charlie Brown, Snoopy.
No, grief's the good thing.
And between that and hospice lecture on Monday, I don't know what does that mean.
You're like, I'm gonna go home and shoot myself in the fucking head. Thanks for doing this to me.
Thanks for ruining.
Depressed now.
What? I didn't say that. Also because I didn't go. But
you're just like, it would have been a really sad lecture, but I didn't go.
I didn't go. I went to the grief counselor one because I had a quiz before that. Before that. So I had to stay, but I don't feel like waking up at 8 in the morning to learn about hospice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you.
Too sad for you.
See, I'm taking a class for my communications minor. It's patient-provider communication, so I'm getting a little bit of taste like the medicine and stuff like that. But the biggest thing that I found interesting was we had it was like a family therapist come in and was talking to us just about like her patients and different cases and stuff. And what's really interesting is she can choose her clients. like where she's in a private practice, like she
Oh,
is
okay.
just able, yeah, so she's able to choose like who she wants to see. So for example, she doesn't do any working with uh people who have active like criminal proceedings with them, or they don't have any um or if they have any drug abuse. She just doesn't want that in her life. Like she
Yeah.
just was like, I care about my patients, but if they don't want to be helped, then
Mm.
there's no point in me helping them. And like she's just decided like right off the bat, like that's just not something that I'm interested. Like I do care about those people, but it's not something I can necessarily help with.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. Is you can just kind of pick and choose. I didn't know you could do that like as a doctor.
That's true. Sometimes you work for a practice and get to have that responsibility or
Yeah.
freedom, whichever you prefer. It's pretty
Yeah.
nice. It's not as stifling as people may think. I'm in the
Yeah.
healthcare field. For those of you who don't know, gonna get my doctorate 2018, so it's gonna be tight.
Yeah.
Gosh, can't wait for that day to be here because going to school 4 more years after 4 years is just awful. So
So I mean, like, what got you into medicine in the first place? I know your dad's a vet, right?
he's a vet. I
Yeah.
uh, I just love, and this is stupid nerdy of me, but I love microbiology. I love diseases, treating diseases. Had some internships with cancer labs, and really picked my interest. So I love researching and treating disease.
Mhm.
I ask my friends symptoms and all that stuff. I'm like, ooh, I wonder if it's this, or this, and
Yeah.
then getting to like, oh well, now that I'm in school, I get to learn why it is, why the disease is, and how it progresses. So I don't know. I can't really explain it.
That's really cool.
Good old Dana Ogden and AP Bio actually started the whole train. So good old Ogden.
Dogden. There you go. I just know like a lot of people are interested in like helping people and stuff like that. I didn't know if it was the same for you. Like some people are
Yeah.
just really want to like just go out and help people. I know some people are more like the adrenaline junkies, like the ER people. They need to be like just hands in, and they're like praying for something interesting to come through the door so that they can just like jump on it and be have fun with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It just kind of really depends. Medicine's really interesting. It's just something I have no desire to be in.
Yeah. No, I got you. I'm more of the former. I like helping people. I
Mhm.
would be too scared if something like major came in. I mean, I'm sure with practice or whatever it'd be fine, but like definitely don't go around looking for trouble.
Yeah. Oh God, do you remember when we were living in the dorms when we were walking over to the library? That guy who had broken his finger from playing basketball. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
That was gnarly. I
That,
remember like we were just
oh,
walking, we were going to get dinner, and he freaking went like I guess was like reaching for a ball or something because there was like a basketball court right outside of our dorm, and like his pinky had like snapped in half.
it was disgusting.
It was all like blood was just running down his arm, and like he runs in, and I remember he goes up to the RA. Poor RA, he's probably like a sophomore or something in college. Like we're all looking up to them, but like he has no idea what to do in this situation. He's just like, "Help me!" And
Oh my God.
that's got to be the worst. Like I'm looking back, and I couldn't imagine myself as an RA now. Like I just was way too immature. Like I couldn't handle it back then. But my God, could you imagine that? Like if you're an RA and that shit just comes up, you're like, oh, I was 5 minutes away from the end of my shift, and this happens. Like,
Yeah. I remember
God,
I was out there and it was gross. It
it
was
was.
it was disgusting. And well, LOL, I shouldn't be laughing at this, but when we were playing ping pong and you fell and got
Oh yeah,
the
I forgot
craziest
about that.
bruise of your life.
That was the worst bruise I think I've ever had. No, that's a lie. I've had worse bruises. But we were playing ping pong, and it was raining that day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was raining, and I just would I love playing tennis, and so I like whenever I play ping pong, I like try to do like the same moves and stuff, and I'm a total tryhard. But it came up, and I was like winding up, and then I went to swing, and when I swung, like I lost my footing, and I ate shit
It was
straight
so
onto the floor, and it's just the most dull thud, like the smack on the floor you ever heard. It's just like your traditional like just imagine like at school, just like the tile floors, like just bow, and then you couldn't even ask me if I was okay because you were laughing so hard. And you're just like Lucian, sorry, I was mean. I was like, no, it was really funny, but also, ow, that
Yeah.
hurt a lot.
For those of you who don't know, Ethan he played tennis in high school. He can serve it 130, right?
No,
130,
125. That was
125.
that was the fastest I've ever been clocked. But yeah, it was
125 miles an hour. So yeah, I've played against him in tennis, just messing around, and that's no fun to try and return. I always end up hitting it like baseball and hitting it over the court because
yeah.
I don't
I mean,
know how to play
I
it.
probably couldn't do that anymore. It's been so long since I've done it. Like I went and served a little bit, but I could definitely tell that I couldn't hit it as hard. Just I'm out of practice.
Yeah,
I am bowling a lot, however, now though. That's really fun.
you got a
They got this.
221.
Yeah, or no, 203 is what I got.
No,
Yeah,
sorry, I went
those
bowling
are
the other day and my friend got a 221. I got it
Jesus.
confused. Yeah, it was.
That's insane.
Yeah, I know.
Gosh. Also, like we had this like big like drama thing where Lucky had gotten 6 strikes in a row, the last time we went bowling before that, and I was so pissed off at him. Like he was it like 80 something like that, something just like average, like 70, 80 in the mid game, and then just fucking gets 6 strikes in a row and winds up getting like a 191. And my best was 186, like ever. And I was like, how the fuck did you do that? And so I was so angry at him. And then, I don't know, we went back. And then the next time I went, I got a 190, which was my best score ever, but it was still one less than him. And so I was just so mad. Like, there's a sign that I put up on his door, just a piece of like printer paper I wrote in red Sharpie. It says, "I wish you were dead." And I just like posted it on his door. I'm like, I'm really mad at you. Like, I'm just super mad, and I'm not letting it go until I get higher than you. But the quarrel is over. I got a 203. I'm the better bowler now. So
Meanwhile, mid lane. I'm just kidding. What about Dallas?
mid lane, Dallas is good. The thing with I don't know, Dallas is kind of hit and miss. Like he's either really really good, or I don't know, he's just like okay. Like he never, his consistency isn't the best, I guess. But I finally learned how to spin the ball, and that's why my score's been going up so much recently, and I'm
Yeah,
very happy with that.
that's legit. That's what the guy got the 223, spun it so well. I was like,
It's really
how, how,
ow.
how?
It's not as easy as you'd think. It's also not as hard as you'd think. Like I mean, it definitely, you need to know your form, but I don't know. It seems like it's doing a lot more than is actually happening. It's like it's just like one spin. Like it's just about the follow through. That's really it.
I see. Need to
Let's see.
take that on to the next lesson when I go play some bowling. Not sure when that'll be, but stay
We should,
tuned.
we should go bowling when I come up too. It'd be
Go
fun.
bowling
Let's go bowling.
at the Super Bowl.
I mean, maybe.
We got,
Go ahead, sorry.
I know where
Yeah.
there's a bowling alley we can go to in Cincinnati. It's called Stone Lanes. It's where we've gone the last couple times. It's not bad. It's not as bad as Super Bowl. LOL.
There's that Axis that's on Newport on the Levee.
Never heard of it. Let's do it.
It's really really nice. Last time I went, all their normal lanes were full, and then we got bumped to the VIP lanes. So they've got their own separate section. It's got like leather couches and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
It's just like really swanky. It's like it feels like a private bowling alley. Like there's only like a few, and it's for like private parties.
Well, all right then.
I mean, like we could do that. The food there is really good too. It's kind of pricey though, so we'll have to see.
I then.
I eat.
You say though.
Any other games or anything that you're looking forward to coming out this year?
Haven't really paid attention to it. I've been stuck on the Rift too much
Yeah.
and playing Pokemon. my 3DS.
How's the Rift going? I know that you were struggling in Bronze 4 there for a little bit.
Yeah, I got out of it. I'm in Bronze 2 now,
There you go.
so I've steadily climbed the ladder. But it's been, I don't know, it's just this season's tough. So I
Yeah,
may just,
Jungle got a lot harder, and I think that's made the game a lot harder.
I think that I'll probably hang her up for a while, recreationally play League. But I don't know. Well, I need to give my X-Bones some love,
Yeah.
some Halo back, and which I'm looking forward to finishing those Halo campaigns and getting those achievements. Maybe
Yeah.
one day we'll get
Yeah.
Recon. Well,
Probably not, but I would be willing to try.
God, if
That
only I
was
could hit
just.
those lasers. Sometimes I'm on and I'm just nasty, and then
I don't know if I have enough memory on my hard drives to capture the amount of attempts it would take.
I don't think you do. The fourth, it's always the fourth guy. It's been traditional.
Yep.
We can't do it.
We just can't lock it down. Like I remember we had you, me, Dallas, and then like Elliot was on, and then like but whenever Elliot's good, but then like whenever he was on, you were off. Like you were just like off your game, and then it was like we had Tyler Gray on and just trash.
Oh,
And
he
then
died so many times.
died so many freaking times. And then there's let's see.
I'm sure he's a good gamer.
Yeah.
Disclaimer,
Oh,
but
and then our most recent try,
it was a tough time.
it was me, Dallas, and Lucky, I think. And no, me, Dallas, David, and then we had Alex play, and Alex just kept dying over and over.
That's weird. Alex is pretty good at Halo. At least he wasn't. He was a good Halo 4 player.
Yeah, but he's good at like multiplayer. But then like it came down to it, and like we were trying to, I forget what it was, but it's on ODST. It's the map that you have to do it on. It's the easiest. It's got that like the two doors that like back alley, and like the enemies can't come in or whatever, so you can just kind of like hide out.
Yeah.
But we were just holding up in there, and it went like every time everyone died except for me, and then it was just we had what are they called, like Royal Guards or something like that,
Oh, yeah.
like the brutes, and but we had like three of them, and so it was me versus like three of those, and I'm sitting there like, oh Jesus. Oh no, I can't do it. And so like I was like running out of ammo. I had no grenades left, and so what I had to do is I just had to keep peeking out, and I would like boom, 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 and like I had to just like keep doing it fast enough to like pop his shields, and then I would just like get him down, and then just that was what I had to keep at, and I had to do that for like three people. It took me like 20 minutes, and then we would get right back in. They're like new set or whatever, and I'm like, all right, cool, we're on to the next set. We get bonus lives, and then like all three of them would die right away, and then I was stuck in the same position. I was like, oh Jesus, not again. Like that's just every time. And we're like a half hour in. I know we got like a couple, like we'd all had like a few beers at that point, and I'm just like, this is fucked. There's no way that we can do this. And I was so, because it was right after we'd moved into the new place, and I bought everybody beer so that we like for helping me move in, and it was just, you can't do it.
Oh, we
There's
could
no
talk
way.
about that story. The fact that one time you thought your lease was over a week later than it actually was.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, Zach Orsello. That's a good one. All right, so that's a great story. I think that's a really good story we should tell. So, for anybody who doesn't know, like we lived at a different place every year in our college career, and one place it was American Avenue, and our landlords were just the worst. Like it was just they just were. But one time we had told Zach, who had handled all the leasing stuff and had copies of the lease and everything, we told him to go look at what our lease termination date was and like when we needed to be moved out by, if we needed to have anything done. And he looked it all up, and he's just like, oh yeah, it's on the 28th or something like that. And so I had gone to Louisville. I had like spent the night with Carly at the time, and I woke up to a call, like a frantic call from Zach that was just like, oh no, it wasn't Zach. Zach had left to go get it. That's right. I got a call from Jeff that was like, hey, our lease ended 30 minutes ago. It was on the 23rd, and I was like, what? what do you mean? He's like, yeah, Zach fucked up. Zach got the date wrong, and you need to come back here right now. And this is like 8 in the morning, or like 8:30 in the morning, and it was just the worst wake up call I've ever had. And then I get there, speeding the whole way. I'm like getting calls from the utility company, from the people who are about to move in the next day, that are like, hey, we're getting calls from these guys that saying that they're moving in, but we don't have a record that you had set up anything to move out. So like I had spent the entire hour and a half driving back just like phoning people down, and I was like, look, please move it to this new address starting at this date. But all that was happening, and then I got back. The cavalry had been called in. Like Zach had phoned in every single one of like his Air Force buddies and like everyone in his frat, and it was just like, we need to move now. And so we got as many boxes as we could. Alex was a madman. He just started throwing things into different boxes. We're like, we're gonna lose everything. Like we won't be able to find anything at all. But he just like kept throwing stuff in different boxes, and we got it all moved out. And like we had to get a storage container, or not a storage container, like a storage unit. And Zach picked the one that was cheapest. But then whenever he looked at it, it was the one that was furthest away. And so we had like a giant U-Haul truck, and we had to pay extra for gas and all that stuff because we went over the number of miles, because it was like pretty far away. It was like 10, 15 miles and like half an hour drive because Lexington traffic. It's fucking worst.
Awful.
And you get down there, and then we had to do like 3 loads, and just the worst. I can't even describe to you. And then so we gave him, and we still do give him, just so much crap for it. It's a terrible experience. It's like I would not wish that on my worst enemy. Like you are just like so nervous, and then like I said, the landlords were super shitty, and we're like, well, there goes our security deposit. Like, because we had like $2,500 down or something like that. 5 of us living in the house is like $500 each, and I was like, well, that's gone, because like we didn't move out on time. I was like, this is terrible. And then we got a bill like after we moved to the new place on State Street, that was like, oh, here was your security deposit, and it said that they spent like $3,000 on like doing it, and then we all owed $100. I was like, that's not right, like, because it was like, oh yeah, it was like $200 for like a dump run, and it costs like this much, and it was like $30 for light bulbs, and I was like, fuck that. So we just didn't pay it. And no one's ever tried to come get the money from us. I don't know if we still own it, whatever, but I don't know.
There it is, ladies and
gentlemen. That's the story. That was terrible. I still remember that. Did you come and help for that?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I locked my keys in my car.
Oh, yeah.
Put them in the trunk like an idiot.
Just a terrible day.
Yeah, and my wallet was in there, so I didn't have my AAA. And then Wilk was like, "Yeah, this is my car," and I locked my keys in the car. So Wilk Daddy helped me out, get my keys out of the trunk.
He's such a bro. But no, you came and helped. We had Alex there. Carly came all the way from Louisville. She got off early and helped. That was really cool. And then Dallas was living there at the time. Addison was in Louisville at the time, actually, working at his co-op, and he had no idea that this was happening. So I had to pack up his stuff too, and then I gave him a call that evening, like after we had got everything moved out, and I was just sitting there like in a pool of sweat because it was in the middle of July. And I was like, yeah, so we're moved out, and I've got your stuff. And he was like, oh. Well, shit. And normally Addison's the one that's like really on top of stuff. Like he's got everything organized, and like he was even caught off guard. He was like, "Oh, I thought you guys had like told me it was the 28th." And we're like, "Well, we did, but it wasn't.
It was not the 28th, in fact.
As it were, it was not."
I love saying that. I don't know how to use it properly, but I love saying "as it were."
I say it a lot, probably more than I should. I feel like I'm being pretentious when I say it, but
as it were.
Feeling pretentious, as it were, darling. I feel like Jack Sparrow when I say it. It's as it were.
You looked like him right there. So
There
You
it is.
know,
I
scarf
need that.
chat is the way.
I need the hat. I need to like wear this beanie. It looks like the bandana he's got on, and then just wear captain's hat.
You do.
I think that's the way forward with this. I'm gonna have to have that on Scarf Chat. I think that'll be really good.
Agreed.
Agreed.
I agree.
Agreed. All right. Well, we've been going on for like over an hour now, so I think we should go ahead and wrap this up. It's been a great conversation. It's been great having you on, Thomas. Thanks for coming. Hope you can be on soon.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, and yeah, for any of you who like what you saw, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, or if you have any suggestions or anything, leave a comment, email me, whatever. I'll be checking all those constantly. But until then, guys, thanks for watching. Bye.